Alrighty, everyone, we have an interesting one today. Can't say for sure if it's worth all of the amount of time you've had to wait for it. But, we have this thing that I found on the side of the road. I don't know what it is. There's, no brand information that I've noticed of any kind. But yeah, the previous owners clearly didn't care about it much. I suspect that they had this outdoors based on the condition, and I suspect that they had it on a slanted roof because of this canopy that's clearly, and you can't really tell from this angle, but from mounting it I can tell you that it is designed to be like an angled roof canopy thing. Yeah, I've spent all day wiring up all of this. It's connected to this light that came with the apartment because there's a little hole punch in there. Yeah, yes, this is the down rod that came with it. I've decided to keep it because it's funny, and because they didn't have half-inch down rods, the half-inch diameter down rods at Home Depot. Anywho, light kit, it functions. Also, just general design details of the fan. This was, at one point, some sort of brass. Maybe antique brass, maybe polished brass. Lord knows. Now it's more of a brown. I don't even know. But this fan, as you'll find out, it's really not worth investing the time and effort to clean up. I'll go into that later. It also has cane blades, or not cane blades, whatever you choose. The original owners chose not to have the cane facing down, but I flipped it around because you can't, if you got cane, you gotta display it, especially on such a weird fan like this. Just gotta pull out all the stops. But yeah, light kits. I pretty much just chose the brightest bulbs I could find at Home Depot because this is my garage fan. This goes in my garage where I work and need light. I work sometimes. Usually if I'm working in here, it's on that little guy over there. That's my car. Hello, car. I don't know if you guys have seen that car yet. I know I've shown the old BMW once in a video. But yeah, that was rear-ended a bit ago. But yeah, this fan's a piece of work. It's not good. The pull chain, I literally just replaced that a few minutes ago before recording this, because the old one is somewhere on my floor. I haven't cleaned up yet. I've literally gone straight into recording this video. I don't know where the old pull chain is. It's somewhere, but it just kind of feels like mush. This is a nice low speed. It's very pleasant. In terms of actual air movement, basically nothing. It's kind of useless. Also for my GE vent enjoyers, we have that in the collection now. For my rust enjoyers, on the side somewhere. On this, oh yeah, that looks just like rust, straight up. Not great. But yeah, this is a pretty low speed. I quite like the aesthetics of it. Unfortunately, it's probably my most aesthetically pleasing low speed from factory. Well, I don't think this is a factory. I'm pretty sure there's some capacitor fade going on. You'll see that on high speed, but yeah, this isn't the most aesthetically pleasing low speed I have, but it's the one area where it's the least useful. I don't really care too much about aesthetics in the garage. I just need it to work. Let's put it on medium. And yeah, medium on this one is kind of someone has a very loud car. Yeah, medium's kind of like a Gulf Coast low. Although Gulf Coast low is really more of a medium. So yeah, this is, if the blades were pitched better, this wouldn't be terrible. But as it stands right now, I don't know what the blade pitch on this is, but like, you feel a little bit of breeze when you're under it, and then the second you're not under it, there's just nothing. Like, nothing at all. Maybe something, but it's so little that I genuinely can't tell if it's just like placebo effect or something or other. Anyway, now the one that matters, high speed. An air conditioning unit in the background just fired up at the same time. This is, okay, actually, maybe there isn't a lot of capacitor fade, because this looks, well, no. This kind of looks like a medium. It's not great. And air movement is also a whole lot of nothing. If you get up to it, something is rubbing on something in there. Yeah. That's why I'm inclined to not do a whole lot of work on cleaning up this fan or replacing the capacitor. Because even if I did that, it's still rubbing on something. And also, air movement is... Well, you know what, man? Here's what I'll say. I was gonna say air movement is laughably bad, but usually I'm not this close to the blades height-wise. Usually I'm more like this close. Here, if I get on my knees, that'll be more realistic. Okay, when I'm on my knees, I do feel wind happening. I mean, probably not at the furthest corners of my garage. Yeah, no, there's not really anything perceptible happening here. So, yeah, that's this fan. And spin down time. I would just do it at the switch. Now there's sirens happening behind me. I would just do it at the switch, but that same switch also goes to these lights. And this one is literally wired directly into this light. So, God, that siren's obnoxious. Sirens are supposed to be obnoxious so that people on the road will get the fuck up out of the way. But it's not great when you're trying to record a video demonstrating your ceiling fan. But as for the ceiling fan, replacing the pull chain switch, it's probably all I'm gonna do in terms of restoration of this thing. Again, with all the rubbing and just in how poor of a condition this is, I think there are some issues that aren't as simple as just cleaning it up. Like, I'm also not entirely sure the blade brackets are all good. So like, I could replace blade brackets and clean it up and do a bunch of stuff, but even then, like, you can't unrust rust, like the damage is done there. I don't know, I don't know. I think this one is just kind of a goner, so the plan is gonna keep it in the garage. Because also, I mean, the garage, it gets exposed to the outdoors, so I don't feel as bad about having a fan that's, because like any fan that's here is gonna get exposed to shit. So might as well be one that's already exposed to shit. So I'm gonna keep this one up because it is really funny, and gotta have that high installation count. But if I do eventually down the line end up finding something better, or just a new fan to add to the collection, then that's just gonna replace this one. And I think this one will just go bye-bye, because it's really, it's kind of just a goner. which sucks. I'm not happy about that. I mean, it's brass, it's got cane blades, it's got a funky-ass light kit. It's a bunch of things that I love. On paper, I love this fan. It just was treated so badly. Like, I don't think this is an outdoor fan. I'm pretty sure this is an indoor fan and it was put outdoors. And it just wasn't built for that. So it's just gone to shit. A car just passed me. I wonder if they were paying attention to what's going on in here and wondering, what the fuck is there a comically low ceiling fan doing in there? Cause yeah, this doesn't come with the apartment. There's not by default a ceiling fan spot in here. That's all my doing. I did all this. They don't seem to inspect the garages during apartment inspections. And even during apartment inspections, they've had no problems with any of the other things I've done, including the entire, like, track lighting and rainbow fan in the kitchen. Which, so yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna let me do that. I think this will be okay. And it can be easily justified by saying, I need a ceiling fan in the garage so I can have air while I work on my car. I don't know how believable that is, given how much of a piece of shit this fan is. Yeah, I don't know what it is. No idea. It's funny is what it is. So this, I sometimes think that I'm like sort of, if any car people, if anyone else has an overlap with cars as interest of theirs, if you're familiar with Aging Wheels, he basically just collects the most unusual piece of shit cars that he can find. That's sort of what I'm doing. Really, the only difference is he has a comically large amount of cars, and as far as ceiling fan collectors go, I don't really. As far as normal people go, this is crazy. Currently, my house, the family home back in Florida, currently has 7 installs, and that's a 5-bedroom home. I'm up to 6 installs on this apartment, and it's a 1-bedroom apartment inhabited just by me. So, for a normal person, this is a lot of ceiling fans, but yeah, by collector standards, this isn't much. But yeah, this, of all the weird ceiling fans I have, this one's probably the most insane. Mainly just because it's of how terrible condition it is and how terribly it performs and how comically long it is. It's so long. It's so stupid. I love it. I thought the longness was going to be like annoying to me, but it was going to bother me because it's kind of dumb, but it's so stupid that it actually turns around and becomes funny. So, yeah, there we go. We now have a new spot for fans in the future, and we have a placeholder to inhabit that spot for now. And again, I'm not like in any rush. I'm not in any more of a rush to find a new fan than I ever am, and I'm not even usually in that much of a rush. Like, I'm fine to keep this one up for a long time. It's just that when the time eventually does come, whenever that may be, this one's gonna go. But I won't be looking for fans for at least a little bit, because I do want to let this one have its moment, at least. Because it is still really funny. It's so stupid. What I could also do is connect another box with more conduits, just like somewhere in the back, and put this fan there, and then have an actually good fan here for functional reasons. I don't know the plans. I can't be bothered to plan things. I just spent literally the entire day building up all this stuff and getting this one up and then getting it working properly, or as properly as it's gonna work. There's been a lot of rambling, but I haven't seen y'all in a bit, so that's what you get. You get lots of rambling. But yeah, that is my brass. It looks like antique brass. The downrod's not antique brass though. Like, that's definitely like a bright brass, but everything else looks antique brass. And I can't tell if that's just because it's actually antique brass or if because it's just gone so much to shit that the polished brass has faded. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with everything's antique black antique brass, and then that's just like an aftermarket down run. They didn't care enough to. They just saw brass and said, "Yep, that's good." But yeah, that is my GE vent with some side vents there. I love a good side vent. A cane bladed antique brass shit post of a ceiling fan. On paper, it's perfect and beautiful. In practice, previous owners just fucked it. And so now it just lives up here. I don't know. But yeah, sorry it's been so long. Just haven't had anything to film. Now I do have something to film. But yeah, hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you in a little over a month for National Ceiling Fan Day. This will be an exciting one in relation to my last one. We got 2 new fans and 2 new spots that didn't exist last time, so that I'm excited about. But yeah, I will see you all later.